Hi everyone, today we're going to be replacing the brake pads on our 2007 Mazda 3. So once we've got the tire off, we're going to go ahead and remove the caliper pin. In order to do that though, we had to go and we had to buy a 7mm, let me show you here, we had to buy a 7mm hex bit socket in order to go in to remove that. So we're going to go ahead and just stick it in the back here, and then we'll go ahead and loosen that up. It should just come right out. You can see it's kind of moving through there, so just go ahead and move it, and then spin that guy. Alright, so once you've got that all loose, you can see you should have a little gap there, should be free, so we can go ahead and if you need to, you can push it back with the screwdriver, and you should see that there's a little, you can fit your screwdriver in that there. So once that's done, we're going to go ahead and take our hex bit socket here, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in the other one there, down at the bottom. See, it's just right here along the side. Look at the side there, so it looks like it's pretty loose. Again, if you need to, if there's no gap, you can take a screwdriver, push that in. So next we're going to go ahead and remove the brake caliper. Remember to make sure your e-brake is off, or else it'll be a real chore to get it off. So there, we're going to just remove that there. And we've got our brake pads. You can see ours are worn about as thin as can be. So we'll go ahead and we're going to throw in some new ones there. Okay, so something you might want to do is remove the brake fluid cap. That will allow, when you're putting pressure on the brake pads, that the liquid inside can expand. So just go ahead and do that before you put the new brake pads in. To put the new brake pads on, we had to go and pick up a special compressor that has some grooves on it, or some nubs on it here, that will fit into the caliper here. You can see it's got these two little grooves, so we need a special piece with those two pieces, the male parts going to the female parts, to compress that down. So we'll go ahead and take care of that now. So the first thing we want to do, we want to get the spreader, and we're going to go ahead and just slide it over the top, and then it should fall right on there. And then we're going to go ahead and lift up the caliper and see if we can't fit that in here. So we want to get those nubs again and fit in those grooves. So something you might have to do is kind of clean them out a little bit. They look like this one's got some junk in there. Okay, so to clean this out, we're actually going to use some needle nose pliers and just kind of get in there and get all this junk and debris out. Put the compressor in now. Get these to match up here. That spreader out of the way, put that in there, and then once it's in there, what we want to do is loosen it up so that the spreader, there's some pressure there. Alright, so again, we just need to make sure that the grooves and those nubs match up. So now that we've gotten the spreader on here, it's nice and tight, we tighten up that bolt. We're going to go ahead and turn our compressor once the groove, we make sure the nubs fit into the grooves there. And then you just go ahead and turn it, and it kind of slowly compress it down there. So once you have the pegs in the grooves and you tighten it down, those pegs are going to push down in the grooves, and that's what's going to allow it to turn. And so you just have to keep, for us, we're going to have to keep tightening the spreader here. Let's see, that tightened up. So it'll keep loosening, so you'll just kind of have to adjust it, keep tightening it, and then keep turning the compressor down to compress it even more. Alright, so now that that's compressed down, we'll go ahead and loosen this up so we can, nice and easy, get that compressor out of there, and then we can throw the brake pads on and throw this back on there. The brake pads that we bought, they came with these clips. You'll notice on two of them there's this groove here. So we're going to go ahead and slide those on there. Pop it on there and just put some hand pressure. You'll notice it doesn't go down all the way on this side, but it's hitting up against this other side here. So now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to take our new brake pads and we're just going to set them in here. They should rest pretty easily up against the drum there. So again, we just take our new brake pads and we're just going to pop them on. There's these little grooves here and they should just fit perfectly right like that. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the caliper and put it back on. So now that that's all ready to go, what we're going to do, we're going to take the pins out of the caliper here. We've loosened them from before, so they should just pop right out. We're going to go ahead and just put some grease on here and then just kind of smooth it around. Just kind of cover that. And then once it's covered, we're just going to go ahead and throw that back in there. Take us a second. There we go, just like that. Go ahead and grab this other one and do the same to the other side. Just going to put the caliper down. It seems like it's kind of a stretch to make it work here, but all we got to do is get that, line the pins up with these guys here, and then kind of tighten those on. So again, we have that the hex nut there. We're just going to throw in this socket wrench in here. Like that one's good to go. Now let's come down here and we'll tighten the other side. Should be all lined up for us. So we'll go ahead and tighten her up as well. Okay. Pretty tight there. So now that we've got the pins in there, back in the calipers, we're going to go ahead and just put these the dust covers back in. So it should just be a matter of just popping them on there. They should go in pretty easy on both of these here. All right, yep, just like that. All right, there we go. This clip back on. What we want to do is we want to make sure we're going to put it in. Put one side in like this. We want these sides here to go on the outside of this caliper here. So we'll do that, and then got to put it in that second side, and then we might need a tool or some pliers or something to get it down over that other side there. So I'm going to take these needle nose and just pry those guys down. Try that again. So once that's done, it should be in there pretty snug. I'm going to make sure that's nice and snug in there. What you would need to do is go ahead and throw the wheels and the wheels back on, and then put the brake fluid cap on, and we should be good to go.